Welcome to Brazil, everybody. We are here, the final round, the final race for the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship. It all gets decided here. We crown a world champion here today at Autodromo de Interlagos, round 7 of 7. Strap yourselves in. The green lights are on. 14 drivers rocking and rolling, and we are underway. Down the hill they go towards turn 1. Even Steven, two-time world champion, on the pole for this race, but a bit of a rough turn 1 there. The first couple of turns for him did not go Even Steven's way. He now settles into 3rd behind Enzo and Ned. Deeper in the field, we're watching all of these drivers work their way through these couple of corners, and it's always chaos, and it's always a little bit wild and exciting for the first few laps of these races. They're all stacked together, lined up bumper to bumper. There's Bo Tedesco for Team Ireland. The nation's battle, the top 3 drivers from each country, from each race, score points and contribute points towards their home nation. And right now, Enzo leads the race, like he's done for most of the season, with Ned, his Team Canada teammate there, right behind him in 2nd, Even Steven in 3rd, Time Act, 2018 world champion in 4th, Bill Baldwin in 5th, just got around Bo Tedesco, the Irishman, who's now trying to make a move back to the inside here. And this is all happening on lap 1. 60-minute endurance race, these drivers running anywhere from 1:16 to 1:20 lap times here at this circuit. Enzo in the Petronas car. A couple of car lengths separating himself and his teammate Ned. Just behind them, arguably the favorite to win today's race. Two-time world champion Even Steven scored in 3rd. It's been a bit of a frustrating season for him. And after winning 2 world championships in a row, he's found himself winless here in 2021. Stood on the podium a number of times, and he's looking to do it again here today, but stand on that number 1 block right in the center instead. Imac, 1 podium for him so far this season. It was back in round 1, actually, at Willow Springs. No finishes worse than 7th since then, but no podiums either. Bill Baldwin still looking for that first career NOSSCAR World Championship race win. He is a 2-time NOSSCAR Super GT Series champion in those GR1 cars, right now scored in P5. Bo Tedesco, no wins in his NOSSCAR career. He's come close a couple of times. And after a solid qualifying effort here today in Brazil, he had high hopes to get the job done here today for Team Ireland. Right now scored in P6, but he's actually going to come to pit road and surrender the top 10 spot. Former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15, Juicy J scored in 7th. Jesse Carlson, Triple Crown winner, holding wins in the Platinum Cup Series, Motormaster Series, and Tailgate Truck Series. On the NASCAR Heat Games, he scored in P6. He gains a spot after Bo Tedesco goes to pit road, as does Juicy J and Ian Henwian for Team Canada. 3 top 10s for him this season, looking for a 4th, looking to get the valuable seat time in this series to get better and better as each and every race goes forward. JRB for Team USA is going to take that 8th place position away. JRB is a former race winner in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series. That is in the GR3 cars, driving cars such as the Dodge Viper, Chevy Corvette, Nissan GTR, and so forth. JRB has a win over there, and Ian Henwian slowing down to kill a penalty here. As you can see, just behind him, Popeye there, he's got wins in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series and Tailgate Truck Series on the NASCAR Heat Games. He scored in P10. Meanwhile, back out front, Enzo stretching his lead a little bit here. 5 wins this season. Comes into this race with a 12-point advantage over Even Steven for that World Championship here in 2021 on Gran Turismo Sport. And Even Steven receives the bonus point for winning the pole award for this event. And that's going to bring him a little bit closer. Enzo was talking to me before today's race, told me that as long as he finishes 10th or better, it doesn't matter if Even Steven gets a max points race or not, Enzo will clinch the championship. But now it is 9th or better. knowing that even Steven has the bonus point for the pole award, and the gap between the two looks like this. That yellow car on your screen every now and then, that is even Steven, scored in the second place position, trying to run him down. It was a feel-good story for Ned at Brands Hatch, finding victory lane in the NOSSCAR World Championship for the very first time. It was a wild race. 15 drivers started in the event, and 5 different countries were represented. When it was all said and done, Ned was the one standing in victory lane, but there was contact between he and even Steven in that race. There was a fierce battle between those two for virtually the final 15-20 minutes of the race. And if you haven't seen that one, definitely go and check it out once you're done watching the season finale here at Autodromo de Interlagos, Brazil. It's been all Enzo since the green lights turned on. On lap 1, within the first couple of corners, he was able to capitalize on a bit of a rough start for even Steven, took the race lead. Ned was able to take second. Since then, even Steven has taken second back, but just can't seem to close the ground and close the gap to your race leader. Ned overdrove that corner back there a little bit and allowed Timac to get a little bit closer. It's been a pretty good start to this one for 2018 World Champ. Hasn't found a podium since round 1 of this season, 6 races ago. 2 podiums this season for Bill Baldwin. Currently scored 4th in the point standings, and he's only 1 point behind Timac in the point standings coming into this one. So a finish in front of that number 32 Team Canada driver would more than likely catapult Bill Baldwin back into the 3rd place position in the final standings once this race is complete. And a great battle here for 6th and 7th. Jesse Carlson, the Alpine machine, trying desperately to hold off Jeffrey Robinson Jr. Jesse Carlson, a Triple Crown winner, 3 different series race wins, and NOSSCAR Heat Games. UCJ just behind him, former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15. Both of these drivers know what it's like to stand in victory lane here in NOSSCAR, but they're yet to do it in the NOSSCAR World Championship, and both are having a pretty good start to the day here in Brazil. And great to see JRB making another start this season in the World Championship. He ran full-time last year, finished 3rd in the final standings in the World Championship last year for 2020. This year has only made 1 start before today, and right now off to a pretty good start, running in the 8th position in the number 12 Honda machine. Popeye making his season debut here, and series debut as well. Never run in the NOSSCAR World Championship with us, but he's made starts on Gran Turismo and NOSSCAR, mostly in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series when he was driving a Chevy Corvette last season. And we have a battle for the lead, folks. At about the 12-minute mark of this 60-minute endurance race. No custom tuning, very much all about driver versus driver. They do have a certain amount of push-to-pass power, and they do not need to be within a second of the car in front of them to use it, so they can really choose throughout the race when to use that, but when it runs out, it runs out. Even Steven all over the back of Enzo. Enzo ran a little wide there on the racetrack that last time by through there, didn't gain or lose any time out of it, and I think it was just a driver error, and he ran out in the green area. The game gave him a 1.5 second penalty, and he's able to basically allow that to run out throughout these next couple of turns. He'll be able to slow down a little extra and kill it off that way instead of killing it off right away and losing a lot of track position. Even Steven used every inch of that rumble strip there. In that final turn, they're coming around now to the start-finish line. We're going to go ahead and show you the leaderboard as we run. 13 minutes of the 60-minute endurance race complete. Enzo, your leader. Even Steven, Ned, Bill, Baldwin, Timac, your top 5. Just about a lap ago now. Bill was able to capitalize on a mistake there and puts the number 21 Toyota machine out there in the 4th place position, and now sets his sights on Ned, who's actually just in front of him in 3rd. Great battles all over the racetrack. There's one for the lead, there's one for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and Juicy J still trying to hold off Jesse Carlson. Those two drivers have swapped 6th and 7th back and forth a couple of times in this race. There's a lot of passing zones here in Brazil. A lot of low gear areas as well, elevation changes, very easy to spin the tires or get the car sideways if you hammer the throttle too hard exiting these turns. It's a very finesse type of racetrack. Yes, it's about speed, but it's all about being smooth here in Brazil. JRB running in 8th. Bo Tedesco for Team Ireland running in 9th. Popeye rounds out the top 10 for Team USA. Ian Henwian is 11th. And Bowman Nation, that's Cameron Norton driving the 00 car, running in the 12th place position. Former Platinum Cup Series winner back in 2018, having some handling issues here in Brazil. Even Steven doing everything he can to run down your race leader, and now they're coming upon lap traffic, and that might be enough for Even Steven to close in on Enzo. Kind of depends on where on the racetrack these leaders catch the lap cars. That'll greatly vary on how much time they lose to the competition around them. And the battle for 3rd has kind of simmered down a little bit. Ned has opened it up over Bill Baldwin. Bill still holds on to 4th, and he's got a challenge from Timac a little bit here, but Timac not quite close enough to use his push to pass to get alongside Bill at this time. Juicy J is driven away from Jesse Carlson just a little bit, enough to get some breathing room here a little bit. When you're constantly playing defense, trying to keep the car behind you rather than making a move and getting alongside you in one of these turns, it really throws your whole corner off, and it really does affect the lap times as well. Battling each other on this racetrack is just going to allow the cars behind you and in front of you to gain ground or drive away. So it's key to make those passes as quickly and as efficiently as you possibly can as we ride along with your race leader, Enzo. And he's there, folks. Even Steven is there. The battle for the lead is on, folks. Nation's battle is still up for grabs as well. Canada came in with a 5-point advantage. The Canadians running 1st, 3rd, and 5th. The American drivers, the top 3 for them that'll contribute points towards their total, running in 2nd, 4th, and 6th. And this is all subject to change still with 39 minutes remaining. And there's definitely a couple. Whoa, and Enzo with a slide there coming out of the final turn, and that's going to allow Even Steven to get a major run down this long front stretch. He's going to use the draft, might even use his push to pass. There he goes to the inside. The 2-time NOSSCAR World Champion for Team USA makes a bold move to the bottom. Minor contact made. They bounced off each other. I can't believe both of them kept it on the racetrack and pointing in the right direction, and they are still rolling. side by side into turn 2. Enzo's got the advantage this time. Even Steven had nowhere to go there. Gran had a real estate. He was going to have his right side tires over in that green rumble strip, and I've mentioned it in previous broadcasts. There is no grip on those green rumble strips. Might as well be a sheet of ice. And it settles down for now. Both drivers have penalties, and they're not really doing anything wrong. And even Steven just driving hard, as is Enzo, using every inch of the racetrack. Ned runs in third while all of that goes on. Imac has made the pass on Bill Baldwin for the 4th place position, but Bill not letting them get away right away. The number 21 Toyota machine driven by the Godfather, the 2-time Super GT Series champion, and that is Bill Baldwin. And even Steven is going to surrender 2nd place, bring it to pit road, and this is a scheduled pit stop. It's a little earlier than I expected, though. We're working the 24-minute mark here, approaching the 25-minute mark, and he should be able to make it to the end on the fuel and tires from here, but he is going to need to pack it full. And if he uses the push to pass, if he has any left, then that's definitely going to burn more fuel as well. So there's a few different things that he needs to take into consideration before making this pit stop, but he's there. He did it. It's too late. He's committed to that strategy now, and what he's hoping for is for these 4 fresh tires to kick in sooner than anybody else that's going to pit here shortly and leapfrog them on the leaderboard. Trying to take the lead from Enzo, get in front of him, and then make it impossible maybe for Enzo to make a pass back as the rest of the race unfolds. Right now, Enzo still the leader. Ned runs in 2nd, and Timac in 3rd. We've only had 1 driver lead laps in this one so far, and it was Enzo. Actually, excuse me, check that. Even Steven, when he made the move side by side coming up here, he did edge Enzo, and that's so we have 2 different race leaders officially so far in this race. And we should be expecting a lot of these leaders to pit road here very shortly. Quick update on Bill Baldwin. He has already been to pit road. He had front end damage from an incident with a lapped car as far as we know, and finds himself now in 9th, but he's got the tires and the fuel to go the distance to the end. Just needs to race smart and do what he's done his whole career, really. Pick them off one at a time and make his way back forward and make a good day out of a bad day. JRB comes to pit road. 4 tires and fuel for the 12 car. And the battle for 7th is on between Bo Tedesco and Bill Baldwin. And we can tell you that Ned is on pit road as well, making his way there for scheduled service. We are now officially at the halfway mark of this one. Hands 2nd place over to the 2018 World Champion Timac for the time being. Enzo, still your race leader. He's led the most laps in this one. 5 wins for him this season. Came in with a 12-point advantage over even Steven for the World Championship. And as it stands now, he would need to finish in 9th or better to clinch it at this point, and he's the current leader, so he's doing everything right. But we've only got 11 cars left on the racetrack. 14 drivers started this race, so if 1 or 2 more go out of this race, the chances for Enzo greatly increase even more, even if he does have a major problem. Even Steven working his way through the traffic. He's already been to pit road. He's got those 4 fresh tires, and he's putting them to good use. Ooh, he went a little wide there. Coming out of that turn, he's done it a couple of times in this race, using every inch of this racetrack, using every inch of the rumble strips even. Those green and yellow rumble strips around the track, you can use them, and there is a little bit of grip to them, but not too much. And you get those right sides off in those green rumble strips that are even further to the inside or outside. There's no grip there. And most of the time you do get a time penalty as well, exceeding the track limit penalty. And there's Juicy J, old school MTV purple Super Formula car, having a good run. Number of top 5s for him this season. He also ran in the inaugural World Championship season back in 2018. That was hosted on F1 2014 on the PlayStation 3 console. And that is where Timac won the 2018 NOSSCAR World Championship. 7 wins for him that season, and 20 top 5 finishes in the 20 races. He was very consistent and found victory lane a number of times, but has since then not found victory lane in a NOSSCAR World Championship race. It has been a long drought for him. Right now runs in second, but keep in mind there's a couple of cars that have already made a pit stop. I believe he'll cycle back to about 4th or 5th when it's all said and done. And your race leader is still Enzo. Has not made his way to pit road just yet. And he does now. 33.5-minute mark, and Enzo, running 1:16s consistently pretty much every lap, is going to bring his car to pit road for scheduled service. It will be his only pit stop of the race unless he has some sort of major problem on the racetrack. Third different leader of the race. Timac's going to come around, lead this lap. Enzo still on pit road, filling up the car with fuel, and we should see Timac on pit road within the next couple of laps here in Brazil. 2-time NOSSCAR World Champion Even Steven runs in second. He's already been to pit road, and as you can see, he has leapfrogged Enzo. He has taken second place, and he has taken that spot away from Enzo. So once this all cycles through, and once Timac makes his scheduled pit stop, Even Steven will be your race leader. It worked. Strategy call here. And these 60-minute endurance races, they really open up the door here. The length of these races opens the door for these drivers to make some bold decisions and do everything they can to go get these race wins, or even just a couple of positions to get those couple of points. Very well done for Even Steven. Looking for his first win of the season. He has 3 wins here in the NOSSCAR World Championship in this series. Timac going to surrender the race lead and come to pit road. And Even Steven will take over, folks. What a strategy. What a call made there by the number 15 team. And he's going to take the lead here in Brazil. We're working lap 28. Final race here in the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship. 4th annual season for the NOSSCAR World Championship. Started back in 2018. Here we are, 2021, and we are going to crown a world champion here today. For the past 3 years, we've been hosting it on Gran Turismo Sport. Even Steven took a liking to it. He definitely excelled at it. Dominated 2019, dominated 2020, and this season, Enzo has arrived on the scene for Team Canada. 5 wins this season, current points leader, and in order for Even Steven to slay the dragon and take back the throne, he's going to need to win this race. He's going to need to get the fastest race lap, and he's going to need to hope for Enzo to have some sort of major problem and drop back outside of the top 9. It's a tall order. The odds are definitely stacked against Even Steven, but he's going for it here. And when there's a chance, there's a chance. Saw Pac-Man almost lose the 2021 NOSSCAR Super GT Series Championship this year because of his engine failure, and he was able to still hold on to it by one single point over Bill Baldwin. It goes to show that it's never over until it's over. Even Steven picked up a 2-second penalty there for using more of the track. And he technically did. I just don't know if he meant to or not. Don't know if there was any time gained or lost in that exchange. He's killing some of the penalty now up through this uphill section and into the bends, into the S's. Bo Tedesco for Team Ireland on pit road. Should be his last pit stop of the race. Timax pit stop, he's out there in the 4th place position, comfortable gap over Bill Baldwin, who scored in the 5th place position, Juicy J in 6th, JRB in 7th, and Bo Tedesco might be able to hold on to 8th, depending on whereabouts Popeye is on the racetrack. Good to see Popeye back in the NOSSCAR World Championship, back in NOSSCAR on Gran Turismo Sport. Orange Reese's car, he's got it up there in the top 10. 14 cars started on the racetrack. We have 11 left out there. Ian Henwian rounds out the top 10 for Team Canada in that inside track motorsports machine. And they're all chasing Even Steven, the 2-time world champ. Under 16 minutes to go here in Brazil. Bill Baldwin having a tough time getting around Ian Henwian. Ian is really running the lead cars hard, and now Bill Baldwin dive bombs into the corner, and there was heavy contact made between he and Ian Henwian. And now there's got to be severe front-end damage to Bill's car. It's very hard to see on the Gran Turismo Sport game when you're spectating, but that was very significant contact, and I'm sure that he's got damage. And I'm sure Henwian has some damage as well. And I can understand the frustrations from Bill. He definitely wants the lapped car to get out of his way. That was definitely not the way to handle it, and that was a hard contact for both of those cars. Very shocked that both of them were able to keep it on the racetrack. Still everybody chasing Even Steven. Got a lot of cars that he's got to make his way past before the end of this race. He's catching a large group of lapped cars, and he's trying to get away from Enzo. He knows that if one of these cars holds him up a second or two, then Enzo is right there challenging for the win. It's been a roller coaster of a season for Even Steven. 3 wins last year and the World Championship. The year before, 1 win, a number of podiums, and the championship. This year he's got no wins, and he needs a miracle at this point to walk away a 3-time NOSSCAR World Champion. Enzo looking to take the throne this year, become the 2021 NOSSCAR World Champion. He's done everything right. He's got 5 wins this season, 6 podiums. Excuse me, actually 5 podiums rather. Only 1 finish outside of the top 5, and that was a 10th place finish earlier this season when he had an engine failure. And these 2 drivers have been the class of the field this year, Even Steven and Enzo. Right now we're running 1-2. The gap's only got to be about 4 seconds, 4.5 at this point. Ned looking to join them, stand with them, proud on the podium. Scored in third in the number 24 car. He's got the Canadian plaid paint job, much like the Pfaff Motorsports Porsche car in the GT3 racing in IMSA. There's Bill Baldwin still trying to nurse this car home with damage. Juicy J closing in on him. We're getting down into the nitty-gritty now, folks. Under 10 minutes remaining in this race, and there's still points up for grabs. And we do tally the top fives as well, so there is something to be said there. Juicy J is probably trying very hard to run down his Team USA teammate, Bill Baldwin. What a way to end the season it would be for Even Steven. Even though he wouldn't be crowned the world champion, he could at least tell himself and walk away from this knowing that Enzo is human and that he can be beat. And Even Steven just needs to come back that much stronger next year in 2022 and give it a run again against Enzo. They're working lap 41. They're about to come around to complete it. And remember, folks, let's just remind you how this all happened. Even Steven, he short pit. It wasn't working out, trying to run down Enzo and pass him on the racetrack, so he came to pit road at the 25-minute mark of this 60-minute endurance race. Some questioned if he would even have enough fuel to get to the finish. But it proved to be the right call. He's got the race lead in that yellow number 15 Loves and NOSSCAR.com machine. And he's looking to hold on for just another 3 or 4 laps here in Brazil to get his first win of the season and his 4th win of his NWC career. And Enzo behind him, closing in. Currently scored in second. Ultimately, it doesn't matter too much if he goes up there and catches Even Steven or not. He's got the points advantage and he's got the 5 wins. He's going to be your 2021 NOSSCAR World Champion unless something major happens to him at this point. And even then, I don't think he can drop any worse than 10th right now because of how many laps are left in this race and how many laps down some of those cars are. Enzo is another lap or 2 away from being officially clinched as your 2021 World Champion. The gap is shrinking a little bit between the top 2. Even Steven, I don't know if he's saving fuel or maybe Enzo is just pushing hard. Maybe he's got some push to pass power left. I'm really not too sure, but that gap is shrinking between the top 2 runners. Ned in third, very comfortable gap over Timac. Timac about 19 seconds behind Ned. Ty in fourth. Bill Baldwin about 11 seconds behind Timac in the 5th place position. Juicy J about 4 seconds behind Bill Baldwin in the 6th place position. JRB 7th, Bo Tedesco 8th, Popeye 9th, Ian Henwian rounds out the top 10. We're going to keep our cameras on the battle for the race lead. Oh man, he's there. And I believe when they come around to hit the line this time they're only going to have 2 laps remaining. I don't know if Even Steven's saving fuel or if Enzo's just pushing as hard as he can, throwing caution to the wind. There's something going on here. Even Steven looked like he was pushing pretty darn hard in the final turn there. He ran very wide coming out of that corner, looking for every bit of speed down this long front stretch that he could get. And at the line, it was 58.28, and they're running about 117s right now, so they're going to need to go another 2 laps. 2 laps to go in Brazil. Some of these drivers coming around to complete their last lap, or excuse me, they will be on their last lap when they hit the line this time by for most of the cars. Some of them not close enough to come around to complete that extra lap, but the top two were, and that might not pay off for even Steven. We're questioning the fuel on that number 15 car. The two-time world champion looking to hold on, but he's going to need to hold on for another lap and a half here at Autodromo de Interlagos. It would be his first win of the season, fourth of his world championship career. And so right behind him, it would be his sixth win of the season, and he's already clinched the NOSSCAR World Championship. Even if he were to blow his engine right now and not complete another lap, he would still finish in the 8th or 9th place position, and even Steven would not get the points advantage on him. So Enzo has done it, folks. He's clinched the NOSSCAR World Championship, and now the white flag has been shown to your front runners. And I'm pretty sure every other car is going to come around and complete their race this time by at the start-finish line. And wait a minute. And we're going to rewind this and watch the replay as they go into turn one. Even Steven gets a bump from Enzo. They both go through the green, and it looks like Even Steven is out of fuel. We're on lap 47. It's the final lap for these drivers, and Even Steven has run his tank dry, not a fume left in there, and he is coasting in second place. Enzo has taken the race lead, and he is fully fueled and ready to go for this last lap. He's not waiting around, and he's going to go around and win this race. No other cars are on this lap with them, so he's got the win in the bag here as well. Ned confirms his third place finish. Timac down the front stretch to finish in fourth. What a turn of events, and what a race, what a season it's been. History has been made again. It's been since 2018 since we've seen a driver win 6 races in a single season, and that season we saw 2 of them do it. Coming out of the final turn and down the front stretch, Enzo makes history for himself and for Team Canada. Enzo wins the 2021 NOSSCAR World Championship on Gran Turismo Sport. Doing a burnout, a celebratory donut on the racetrack, and Bo had to check up there at the end. JRB definitely didn't check up. And what a race. What a season, too. Enzo comes out and dominates, folks. 7 races, 6 wins, 7 top 10s. And Enzo is your champion. 4th annual NOSSCAR World Championship season is in the history books, and we would like to thank all the viewers and fans on the NOSSCAR Series Racing YouTube channel for tuning in and watching and following all the action. We hope you enjoyed the shows, and we hope your favorite drivers did well, and I'm sure they'll be back for more action in 2022. Good night, everybody. Congratulations once again to Enzo and Team Canada, and stay fast, folks.